Hi, what's up, guys? So, I had a bunch of fun ish videos kind of planned, like my definition of fun, like maybe something that's like true crime related or Greek mythology or something that, I'm really interested in. But instead, I'm making this video um, because of the whole CreepShow art thing, because I feel like I was a pretty big fan of hers despite like her wrongdoings and stuff like that because I loved her content. I found her like really funny and relatable. I was like, yeah, I support this person, but I guess I feel like because of that, I feel like I kind of have to make this video to show that I don't support her or believe her anymore. So the first part I'm going to talk about is the lolcow situation. So essentially on lolcow, she was caught saying all these really nasty things about her friends and breaking a lot of the community guidelines on lolcow, like promoting herself and posting about herself. But she would say really mean things about her friends that she like her close friends on YouTube, like Ready to Glare or Upzilla, I think. I think that was the name. Um, and she said these really like hurtful things. And if you guys didn't know, she had this pretty popular video called "I Was Stalked for 8+ years," and essentially she claimed to have been stalked by this woman named Amy. And before I continue, I just want to say that all of this is alleged. I think I have to say that. I don't know. Most people have to say it. So, this girl named Amy stalked her, essentially. And then things kind of chilled when the girl apologized, apparently. And they were, like, not really friends, but they would check up on each other and stuff like that. And she claimed in a post that this girl had started doing that and that she spoofed her IP. And, at first a lot of people were like, oh, that's really, really sad. Like, that's really upsetting. You should, like, get, like, legal stuff done. And that's what she apparently is doing. But as more information came out, people started to realize that spoofing an IP from all her different, like, all the IPs matched her location. And it's very, very difficult to spoof an IP, especially, like, multiple times. And that's not really what spoofing is for. You can watch videos on that. I'm not really going to get into the logistics of spoofing an IP because I'm not very, like, smart when it comes to that stuff. Like, I don't really understand it super well. But there's a bunch of people who do kind of go into it and explain it as simple, like in a way that's very simple and easy to understand. But I just don't have the functioning brain cells to do it or to understand. So, you know. But that's the main thing that happened, or I guess not the main thing, but essentially after that, Emily Artful comes out with a video. And before I kind of get into the subject matter of this video, I want to kind of tell a story that I didn't really want to be telling on here just because I know people who are still friends with this person and I didn't want this person to get into trouble or for it to like her to stumble across my video and for it to like start drama because I had enough of that whenever all this happened. And I'm not going to say the name of the person just because she was a minor when these events took place. She was 16 to 17 and I was 15. And she, like, even though like all this happened, I still do believe that she could be a good person somewhere deep down if she were to like take accountability for her actions and stuff like that. I just got to a point where I felt like I didn't need to be a part of that journey anymore because she kind of hurt me too much. So, if you guys watched my last video, you know that I was basically homeless for a year. Like technically homeless, even though like we had money, we were like more fortunate. We weren't like what you think of as stereotypically homeless, but we were homeless. So this was kind of right after we had settled down and I was starting school. And this was going to be like a new experience for me because it was kind of my first experience in like a real high school. And sorry, there's like gnats everywhere and they're really annoying. But there was kind of like an immediate like attraction between us. And it was really weird. But things just kind of escalated really quickly and we ended up in a relationship with each other. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail about that because like I said, I don't really even want to be talking about this on here. But the relationship was very toxic and they're in kind of like emotionally abusive. And I'll be the first to admit that I did a lot of things wrong in a situation and I'm guilty of a lot of things. It's just, but it's just kind of like the relationship was really bad and it ended up hurting me a lot and I still kind of have a lot of scars from it, like emotional scars, like trauma and stuff like that, and I can't listen to like certain songs, certain things that remind me of her will cause me to like have panic attacks and stuff like that because of a lot of the things that she did. So the way that relates is that Emily Artful was kind of in a similar situation. That's kind of where this video is coming from. She dated a guy who is now CreepShow Art's current husband. And he was the relationship she described as very toxic and abusive and that she was scared. And I don't think that what happened to me was like to the same degree as her. Like I don't like comparing trauma, but as far as like if there was like a scale, like hers would be like a much more like higher scale than mine, but it was very, very bad. And essentially CreepShow Art and her husband were allegedly stalking her for I think over a decade. And that to me was very unforgivable because it drove her to the point of like almost wanting to like kill herself. And I think the video is like really well made. It's 2 hours, so if you have the time I'm going to link it below because she has a lot of good evidence and she's like her art is really, really good. And this is also where the allegations of the Amy story kind of came up, where people believe that CreepShow Art made up Amy, and I'm kind of leaning that way too. I didn't want to believe it, but people think that the name Amy is kind of a play on the name Emily, so that CreepShow Art, if like the allegations came to light, which they did, she could say, no, actually it was Emily who was stalking me, see, because I chose the name Amy. And like, that's pretty terrible to accuse someone. I'm basically like, I think that's pretty much like where I'm at. I'm like, yeah, that makes sense that it was made up. But it's a really terrible thing to happen, and I fully support Emily. It's just, I'm very disappointed, I guess, in Shannon. And a lot of the people that I really supported and loved this year, like celebrities and stuff like that, they turned out to not be good people this year. And that makes me really sad. but I do support Emily. I believe I have unsubscribed to Shannon. And I tried to go through my social media and like unfollow her, but she's kind of deleted everything, I think, so I can't really follow her. Anyways, but yeah, I remember when all this came to light, my like kind of stomach dropped, or I think that's the right term, and I felt really disappointed, I think, and sad, because I know that Shannon had kind of done some things wrong. So, sorry for the brief cut off. My brother, he kind of just put the dog in here, one of my dogs. So, if you guys hear stuff in the background, it's because of my dog. But I knew that she had done some things wrong. But I didn't think it was anything that was like unforgivable or, you know, super terrible. But now I can't really ignore it anymore. And I can't really justify it either. So I'm very, like, upset about it. And obviously, I'm not, like, one of her friends. I was never close to her. But she was someone that I wholeheartedly supported. And it's sad. It's sad to happen. And my heart really, really goes out to all her friends, especially Emily, who wasn't really her friend. But my heart really goes out to Emily. But my heart also goes out to people like Ready to Glare, all those people, because that's a really terrible thing to happen, and it really, really hurts whenever someone you thought you could trust lets you down. So that's kind of all I really have to say about the situation. Thank you for watching. You know, if you want to, you can like and subscribe, which would be very nice of you, but you don't have to, I guess. I'm going to link my Instagram in the description of this, as well as Emily's videos, and probably Ready to Glare's video, since I also support Ready to Glare. So go support them, give them some love, encourage them. I think Emily was really, really brave, because coming out about something like that is not easy. And she was very, very obviously scared to do so. But I'm glad that she did. And I hope that she's glad that she did. So yeah, anyways, thank you for watching. I think I already said that. So, okay, bye.